Hey, how are you? My name is Pat. I'm the CEO here at Asteroid X. And if you're watching this, thanks for the interest. You may be coming off a job post, off Indeed or something like that. So thanks for checking it out. I'm going to give you a little presentation here and sort of show you the good things about the position, the bad things about the position, the truly bad things, the upside, the downside, why we do Amazon ads, which is a really weird specific thing, and what's in it for you if you were to apply. Because honestly, we're not interested in anybody who we don't see bringing on and then having them be able to grow and lead their own department as part of our global expansion in the coming years. Just and that's what we want for you, and I hope that's what you want for yourself. If that's you, um, you might be in the right place. But let's see. I'm just going to give you a lot of info here, hopefully in a fun way. So let's let's kick it off. So yeah, there's my co-founder Pietro there by the window, and this is one of our first meetings that we ever did in a small office, you know, 200, 300 square feet at Eglinton and Don Mills, which if you know Toronto, this is in Scarborough, which and there's nothing wrong with Scarborough. I lived there for several years, but it's just not convenient to get to, right? It's in the middle of nowhere, and we've since moved, so don't worry about that. We've moved to Yonge and Eglinton on the subway line, but we were in this little room and we were focused on mastering Amazon ads. And if if you are have an analytical bent to, you may ask, why Amazon ads? Why on earth would you want to do Amazon ads? There's Google ads, there's Facebook ads, there's Bing. Well, Amazon is a very aggressive company, and they've been expanding really quickly. So they've joined this $1 trillion club, which is a feat in itself. But the way that they've done it shows that they really have their eyes on the ultimate prize, which is sort of a global dominance thing, as these recent government antitrust hearings in the U.S. Congress will attest to. And Amazon has been quietly building this ads platform that doesn't get a lot of press, even in the antitrust hearings, not a lot of press. But it's sneaking up, and it's now the third largest ads platform behind Google and Facebook. But the cost per click, the CPC, is actually a lot lower than Google. It's where Google was, 5, 10 years ago in terms of its sophistication. But that's also the opportunity for us is we found a platform that is young, it's developing, and that is a hospitable environment for a young developing company like us. We're here to master specifically this platform. So I want to show you what that looks like, right? You probably know Amazon as a from a shopper's perspective, you type in something in the search bar and you'll get a bunch of results back, right? What a lot of people don't know, and I don't when I'm shopping around on Amazon necessarily, is that a lot of those product results that you get back on that page are sponsored. So there in the blue, you'll see there's an ad up top. This guy here, I'll move myself around a bit, but this one here, this here is called a sponsored brand ad. It's a banner. It's like a headline ad that goes across everything. And then here you'll see these little tags, sponsored, 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 sponsored. And only then, after you see, two rows of stuff, do you get to what's called the organic search result. And these are you know, the regular ads. So it's a lot like Google, where if you do a search, you'll get you'll get a bunch of results back, but Google will always put a sponsored result at the top. And it's a really easy way for an Amazon or a Google to monetize. It's a very high margin revenue for them, but also helps the sellers on the platform, in this case Amazon sellers, to get sales really quick. Cut the line, get sales, and all that good stuff. And that is the activity that we do on behalf of our customers. And we have some big brands that we do this for. Who am I? In case you were wondering, if you care, I started by selling physical products myself. That's how I came to know about this industry. That was about 6 years ago. Selling products out of my dorm room. I went door to door, did door to door sales. I sold scarves on the street to strangers. I loved that stuff, and I loved selling product. And then the service side sort of appealed to me. 2017, 2018, started doing that. Started helping other Amazon sellers because I was one, and I sort of I got it. And yeah, Asteroid X has just taken off and become its own thing, and so that's my full time job now. And that's really really cool. We got 16 people and a direct working relationship with Amazon. And so again, yeah, it's 2 to 16 people in this last 2 years. Eglinton and nowhere to Yonge and Eglinton, which is just nice to be on the subway line, honestly, and to be able to go out and see a restaurant and eat at a restaurant. And no customers, no brands, to brands like Everlast, Disney, Inc. 500 brands, NBA, stuff like that. That's a really cool transformation. But this is cool for 2 years. Definitely proud of the team, but it's not enough, and we're just getting started. So, and of course Halloween, which I wanted to put in the slide because it looks funny, and because we're not really, we don't hang around like this in the office anymore because of the virus. But I, I mean, I'm still here. I'm still kicking it, but there's not a whole lot going on. In the office right now, we are remote for the time being, but that's what you can expect when you come back and when there's a vaccine and stuff. I guess I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing, but we have this principle. It's one of our three, values or principles. It's called open, honest communication, and basically all that means is tell the truth. Simply put, if you tell people the truth, you have a really clean data set to work with. You guys can both make decisions. It's important that the other person doesn't get mad for telling the truth, because I think it's people's natural impulse to want to sugarcoat things a little bit, give people the good news, make them feel good, and it's a short-term high and it's a short-term win for sure. But if they don't understand what's wrong, or you don't talk about your problems, you can't really fix them. And so, sounds simple enough, but in practice and to do that every day, it's a discipline and it's challenging. And that's one of the things we try to do. So, in the spirit of open, honest communication, which is one of our values, I'm going to give you the good stuff about the job and also equally the bad stuff, so you can make up your mind and make a decision. Okay. Um, so start with the good stuff. Obviously, you get to learn this new platform. It's a young platform. It's up and coming. You will be learning how to produce revenue for companies, which is a very high value skill in general, a very transferable skill. You'll understand how pay-per-click platforms work. And there's a lot of intricacies to the Amazon platform specifically. And for that reason, the senior campaign managers and I have crafted a 5-week training course, which will give you basically an undergraduate degree as well as an official Amazon certification for Amazon ads. So that's really cool. And that sort of thing is good. You know, I I never wanted it to be a place that you had to ask for a promotion, and I never wanted it to be a place that practiced favoritism, or like, I like this person, or like even like I personally like this person. It shouldn't matter what I think, right? What sort of results are they producing for customers? That's the most important thing, right? It doesn't matter what I think, because I could be wrong. I could have just a subjective random opinion, right? Or the managers could the same thing. So we have a clear metric based path to go from 40, 45, 50, 60K, right? That whole path currently at the time of recording takes about a year and a half to complete. We have people who have completed it. And then beyond that, you can also, once you've cleared that, let's have that, conversation around like, what I've always loved to do is, X, Y, or Z, blogging, affiliate marketing, Facebook advertising. I've always wanted to do that. I have these ideas. Can I help? Can I deploy some of these? Can I start my own branch? Can I teach a program? The answer is yes, for the most part. Like if it has good utility and produces results for customers in a scalable way, of course. Like these opportunities are all incoming, right? We have a few people who are working on their own projects, and that's sort of their branch and their path into the future. They found their passion, they're going for it. So that I think that's really cool. And the culture, right? We don't take ourselves very seriously. We're actually very silly. We're actually very silly. Bing. Bing is a good search engine. But yeah, like we don't take ourselves very seriously, but we take the results and the work very seriously, and the things that we're doing for customers very seriously. So that's kind of where we get our game faces on. I would say, yeah. So the team's going to have really high standards of you, and that's just, a form of kindness. In fact, it may be harsh, but if we select you for the role, it's because we think you can do it, and we kind of know what that looks like on our end. So that's why, right? It's for everybody involved. We're hiring that person who can lead their own department, who can be that leader in the future. And yeah, it's just, I mean, playing on a winning team, like a winning sports team, like to be in prime, like Chicago Bulls, or just it's the rush of a lifetime. And so that's what we're building, and that there is a burden of performance there. Um, and yeah, so we have people who used to work at Amazon, Google, people with master's degrees, which I don't have, but that's very cool that they do. Um, Next, the bad stuff. Okay, we are bootstrapped and we are profitable. That means we are very sensible with cash, and we don't, if a startup gets investment, sometimes they can spend on benefits right away, higher salaries right away. We do not do that. We did not accept investment, and for that reason, we just have to be sensible and reasonable with how we ramp this thing up. So we're starting at 40K currently at the time of recording. With market forces, inflation, this and that, these numbers will change, but this is the general philosophy of it, right? Um, yeah, and we're just 16 people. It's just not big enough for benefits at this time. When we go through the training phase, it's going to be $14 an hour because you're not providing any value immediately to that. And obviously, once we get out of that 5-week period and you start taking on customers, of course, the salary will be where it's supposed to be. And yeah, and the first promotion opportunity again is merits based. It's just based on the numbers. Based on the how much value you're driving for customers, basically, and that's 45K in 6 months. And again, roughly after about a year and a half, a path to 60K is open. So platform risk also is what they call it. So we run everything through Amazon, right? Amazon advertising, which means we don't know Google, Facebook, this and that, right? It's divergent from your typical advertising agency in that way, right, where we just get laser focused and try to master one thing. That does come with a flip side, though, which is that if Amazon were to change their policy, if they were to say third party advertising firms aren't allowed and we Amazon are just going to do the advertising, that would shut it off. If they said advertising is we're not going to have advertising anymore as part of our platform, right? Amazon makes a lot of money on ads. And they have sort of suggested at partnership programs. So I don't think it's going to happen. But again, I just want you to be aware of it, right? Do your own research. And if you find out anything about that suggests the opposite, do let me know. And yeah, just Google has been very hospitable to advertising partners, whereas Amazon's a little bit more still in their life cycle, a little bit more unpredictable, and just very aggressive in an admirable way, right? Where they'll take on new industries overnight, right, and really fast. And it's kind of that sort of dynamism is great and has led to all of their growth. But also, if we're building something on the back of a company like that, like it does come with additional risk. We do have plans to diversify, obviously, but we do want to master this track that we're on first. Yep. So again, it's your classic. If you've ever taken an economics class, they will tell you this: risk and reward are correlated. So the riskier the proposition, potentially the higher the reward, but potentially, right? Now, this is not a blind bet. You have to be good to do it, which is why we have such a rigorous interview process, right? We want to make sure that you can do it so that you can not just succeed and do the bare minimum, but grow beyond that, right? In general, tech is a good place to be. So this is just from a Reddit post that I saw the other day. But when I was growing up, 70s and 80s, you became a doctor, dentist, or lawyer if you want to earn big bucks. 90s and noughts up to the Great Recession, I guess it's 2008, it was banking and finance. Now it's tech, very interesting. Now it's tech, period, very interesting, period. Which is true, but you got to be good at this job. Now, how do you be good at this job? Let's get into it. So this is really an analytical and mathematical mind that we're looking for. You should have to like spending time in spreadsheets. I'll be the first to say that's not my area of expertise necessarily. Like I'm passable at it, but that's not what makes me come alive, right? So you should know that about yourself, I think. And if you don't, it's fine, right? Maybe if you're out of school more recently and you're just kind of tasting and trying. But for the most part, I mean, if you've always been that math student in school, if you if you did well in calculus, if you liked economics, you like data sets, and the way that, you get a data set and you could look at it and kind of tell a story from the data and come up with a solution based on that. If you're that sort of analytical problem solver, large data set type of person, then this is a good fit for you. If you like to live in Excel, if that's sort of your, if that's your home base, that would be good. And a certain amount of, I guess, like service, service aggression almost. It's like it's not quite aggression, but you should really be willing to go to bat on behalf of customers, because that's what we do every day. And really, you know, these sellers, when we're running ads, we're playing for, like we're trying to pay their mortgages. We're trying to get them groceries. We're helping them pay bills. We're helping them send kids to school. Like that's what we're doing. It's easy to be removed from that when we're behind a laptop and we're just, setting up advertising campaigns, but that's why we do it. And so if you really feel like you can go to bat for those people and use your skill sets to help them, that is kind of the mindset to be in. We found generally that there are some correlations between success in this role and success in in fields like science, engineering, math, marketing, business too, but the harder sort of number side of marketing. Not so much the creative side, because there's not a lot of digital creative currently on Amazon. There's increasingly more, but it's not. This is not your Instagram influencer type of marketing. This is a really hard nosed numbers type of marketing. Um, so yeah, this is just for example in terms of next steps. If you're on Indeed, you'll probably hit some sort of apply now button and get started there. It'll probably ask you to upload a resume, and you just pop that in there. After that, we'll take it from there. We have a few additional assessment steps, so on and so forth. So thanks for watching. This has been Pat from Asteroid X, an Amazon advertising company. Thanks for watching. If you've watched this far, maybe there's a reason. Try to apply. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, just thank you for watching. Thanks for the interest, and hopefully talk to you soon. Okay, bye.